Good afternoon in Paradise. Clouding up, looks like a chance of rain again. That's pretty much every day anymore, which is awesome. I'm loving this time of year. After that big, long, hot, dry spell, pretty mild temperature. I mean, it's still hitting 90 every day, but it's like 90, 91, 92. Clouds come in, cools off. It's beautiful. I'm loving it. New for today. Well, the painters showed up. If you remember, they took a day off for a funeral. They come back today. Instead of fixing blemishes and stuff like that, they actually started painting inside. They got a couple rooms. Looks like they're pretty much done, other than they got to do some ceiling stuff yet. Not sure when they'll get moved outside, but it's going to have to be soon, because we told them we got furniture coming on Wednesday, and they said no problem, we'll be done by then. So today is Sunday, so they got about 2 days, 2.5 days to get that done. But yeah, they still got all the detail work to do around out here. See, they still got work to do up around the ceilings, screw holes to fix, these poor markings or whatever. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. These haven't even been painted yet the first time. They got that. They got to do the pump house. So they got quite a bit to do yet. They still got to put the clear coat on the stone. Stuff like this they haven't done yet. But they said no problem. They'll have it by Wednesday when the furniture shows up. At least they'll have the inside done. In addition to that, we told Duke that we are scheduling our house blessing ceremony for Friday. Today is Sunday, so they've got a week to get cleaned up, cleared out of here. The electrician was supposed to be here today. He did not show up. No word who, what, when, where, or why the electrician didn't show up. He doesn't have much stuff to do. Just getting this paint done is it. They still got to paint all this. It's never had paint on. It's just primer. All the bottoms of these, all around the paint. I mean, there's still a lot of paint left to do. I don't know. They know the deadline, so it's up to them. And the best part, Merlin, the motor musician, was in today and mounted the motor for the gate. So we officially are a gated community of 2. But yeah, this is kind of exciting. It only took a couple hours, but it went in pretty easy. So we have a power gate now. It does rattle a little bit. I'm going to take some silicone to these panels. I think most of the rattle is where the 2 panels bump together right here. I don't know. But I'll take some silicone, maybe put around the edges wherever the panel meets the steel, and where they bump together here. I need to paint where the welds are at, and to just touch everything up. But I wanted to get the motor and everything on there first, get that out of the way. Yeah, so hopefully Duke will get some people in here in the next couple of days and get all this crap cleaned out of here, so this isn't here for the ceremony. But if it's here, I really don't care. I just want to get the official ceremony done and get moved in and be done with this. As soon as they're done in our closet, I've got all the shelving and stuff in there. We're going to start putting that in. As soon as the other rooms are done, as they finish them off, we're going to go in there and start hanging curtains, get all that stuff done too. Some monks come out here and walk around and do some ceremony stuff and probably eat some food and stuff. Like everything else, it's probably going to end up much, much bigger than what anybody even anticipates, or they're telling me anyhow. I think I had to run into town today to get parts for that gate project. And while I was in there, bought me some fresh durian. Smells like an elephant's ass, but it tastes good. Not the elephant's ass, the durian. I think I talked on the video yesterday. I put this mesh up where the outside ground is pretty close to the top of this beam on this wall to keep the soy dogs out. It did rain last night, and I seen soy dog tracks right across there this morning. So apparently somewhere they're jumping over this wall, but here and there, I'm probably going to have to deal with them now until I get the actual fence up, and that's going to take quite a while because Frankie, the fence fabricator, is not very fast. He hasn't even started yet, and I'm not going to let him start until after we get back from Pattaya. I don't know if we're going to have a sunset tonight or not. It's fairly cloudy, but there are some breaks in the clouds, so once that sun gets down over there where those breaks are, we might have some nice sunset, but we'll see. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the future plans for the channel. I had made a comment a few videos back about, if the build's over and people aren't interested in what I'm doing, I'll just shut down the channel or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I could have monetized this thing months ago, but I didn't because that's not what I'm in it for. Like I've always said, I like editing videos. I like making the videos. once we get freed up from this, we plan on traveling all over Thailand. So hopefully we'll be able to get to meet a few of those folks that are watching our channel that live here in Thailand. There's a few in particular that I have in mind that I just would really like to meet. If I don't, that's not the end of the world, because, you know, they may not want to meet me. But here and there, I think what we're going to do is we're going to just hang on to this video. I'm not much into those videos where people go traveling and they just show 10 minutes of highway driving. It's a freaking highway, people. Come on. Now, if there's something interesting on the highway, love to see that, because those of you that live in Thailand or visited Thailand and did any traveling on the roads, you know that every time you go out, it's an adventure. And you always see something crazy, silly, or unbelievable out on the road. I've got a dash cam in the truck, so if we see stuff like that, I'll probably pop that in there, but I'm not going to run those long highway scenes. I mean, sometimes it's interesting for the people outside of the country to see, but I mean, one highway is a highway, right? Whether it's here or there, and it's right or left, it doesn't matter. I don't want a channel where I just walk around and point at the temple and say, oh, that's beautiful, that's really nice. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try some things and we'll figure out something. It's more of a reason just to be able to meet people and interact with people, because let's face it, there's nobody outside of Sound Pit that speaks English within, I don't know. There's nobody around. The only people I get to speak English with are right out there making comments to me. I mean, it's hard to make a video channel in Thailand about people traveling around and not have it be the same old stuff that we've seen 1,000 times. If I see something or feel something interesting, I'm going to share it with you. And that's just going to be my business model, so to speak, for the channel. It's just, if I find it interesting, I'm going to share it. If I don't find it interesting, I'm not going to waste my time on it. I'll probably keep a camera handy all the time, but you're not going to see most of what we do, I'm guessing. But I will share the interesting stuff. We'll just see how it goes. I don't know. I don't have a true model set up, but we're not going anywhere, so stick around. Closing in on another beautiful sunset in paradise. And we're closing in on the end of this build every day. We're one day closer, right? Anyhow, we have got our house blessing ceremony scheduled for Friday. We personally don't think the painters are going to be done, and maybe this outside area won't be cleaned up, but we really don't care. We just want to get through the ceremony, get done what we need to get done so we can get the hell out of here for a week. Electricians came through today. First thing they did is check this thing out, and as I suspected, the motor was bad on the fan. Yeah, brand new fan, lasted a few weeks. I think the lightning might have got it during that storm when we were over in Cantalak that day. I'm not sure. So they got that corrected. I asked them to put a 4-plug box in the camera box. I need to plug in the receiver, I need to plug in the power supply, I need to plug in a Wi-Fi, and I need to plug in a monitor. So I had bought the 4-plug box, threw it in there, and when he got here, I just said, hey, can you put this in? He said, yeah, no problem, because they didn't have a box in there at all. But the camera guy put one in there just to get by. So they did that. They added that third light out the back door that I had talked about, because for those of you that haven't seen it yet, for some reason, the plan called for a light on this side of the door, light on this side of the door. They put one here and one there. Why? I have no idea. Because when they wired it, the door was here, so I don't know what they were thinking. So I told Duke, that looks stupid, so at least add another light so it looks balanced. So they put one over there, way more light than we need. We only needed one, so I don't even know why there was 2 in the plan. But whatever, we got the balance for it. Electricians. As soon as they got here, I took them out the pole and said, hey, we need to pull everything out of this box. And I gave them a contact block that I bought, a large one. So we can just hook PEA. Well, actually, PEA is down there. These are all mine. But we can hook these pole lines directly to the house without that shut-off switch in there and without the outlet. I was concerned that if anybody figured out that shut-off switch was in there, all they'd have to do is walk up, shut that off, cameras are off, do what they need to do. So they're going to direct wire that. But I went over there and looked at it a little bit ago, and they didn't do it. They did connect the house to the shutoff switch that I have in there, but I think the problem is they didn't have the supplies to convert that big underground PVC tube to pipe to put the weather head on. If you don't know what a weather head is, that's that little piece that goes, usually they're up on a house somewhere. But it's basically just a cap that goes on whatever conduit you're running, and it keeps the water from getting down in there, because it's like a shaped kind of like this, so the wires come up and come out and then up to your box. They have the weatherhead here, but I think they were missing the parts to convert the tubing to PVC or whatever they're going to bring up the pole. I would imagine it's gray PVC. So they're going to have to come back and do that, but that can happen in a week or a month or whatever. I don't care, as long as it happens. I left my barrel on there to keep the rainwater out of the PVC tubing so it doesn't fill the tubing underground full of water. They had it outside weeks ago. I put that barrel up there and tucked it back underneath there to keep the rain out of it. It should have evaporated by now because it's been under that barrel the whole time, and I'll keep it there till they cap it off. Painters were here all day. As you can see, they've did a lot of skimming and patching and cleaning. They did start doing some paint on the outside, but we're thinking they're not going to be ready by Friday. Once again, I don't really care. I just want to get the ceremony over with. We're not going to do the house blessing party that they all want us to throw. We'll do that at a later date. Yeah, they've still got all of the outside to paint yet. They still got to put the sealer on this slate. They still got to paint the outside to pump out, soffits, everything. I noticed we had birds getting in this freaking roof over here about a week ago. Today I was over there, climbed up on the wall, looked at it, and the birds picked all that out of there. Well, first off, it shouldn't be exposed like that anyhow. So I talked to Duke, but long story short, they're going to take this trim and they're going to cover up that styrofoam as best they can. And that should keep the birds out of there. Somebody's pissing over here. I can smell it. It stinks. Freaking contractors, they don't care, man. So on the fan, it was the motor as I thought. So I told Sampé, let's just run over to Cantilac, grab a new fan. If they're still here when we get back, I'll have them put it on. If not, I can do it. It's 2 wires, poke it back up in there. And didn't even have to take the mounting plate down here. Literally hook up the 2 wires, slide the fan on the plate, put that one little screw in it. So that's fixed, and it is summer breeze makes me feel fine. Going through the jasmines in my... I don't know the lyrics. While we were in Cantilac, we went ahead and picked up a microwave. I think that's the last appliance we need. I do have a few small items still on the list for Duke to take care of, but I want to kind of throw them at him slowly. I don't want to just bury him with a list and get pissed off. But there's still some things that need to be addressed. Again, they're minor things, but they're things that should be fixed on a new house. You shouldn't walk into a new house and find things that you need to repair. I'm still a little bit nervous. We keep having a ground fault tripping out on the main breaker from time to time, like when we're running welders or whatever. I'm a little bit nervous. I want to get that refrigerator plugged in and hooked up and have it running while we're running at least 2 air conditioners. Have that on and get a well pump to cycle, because the other day I was test running all the ACs because I hadn't run them yet. So when I was testing them, I had all 3 units running, and I went in and turned the sink on. As soon as that pump cycled on, it tripped the breaker. The ground fault, not the breaker, the ground fault. So it might have been just the surge, but I can't have that happening to that refrigerator when we're out traveling somewhere, have the damn ground fault trip out and just sit there for a week or 2 till we get back. As soon as the painters are done in the kitchen, we'll pull that out, we'll get it plugged in. I'll get a couple of ACs turned on and go turn some water on, make sure everything will start up and run without tripping out. I know we're going to have problems with that because we've had it trip many times already, but that's the negative side of having a ground fault system is they trip very easy. They shouldn't do that a lot, but they do. I mean, they have a tendency to do that. Instead of going through and put ground faults on the individual breakers like in the exterior outlets and the bathrooms, which is what I would have did, he put 1 ground fault on the main. So anything in the system, anywhere in the house, inside or out, if it senses any kind of a negative feedback, ground feedback, it will trip out. It's a safety thing. I requested ground fault protection. I did not expect him to ground fault the entire house. I just told him to ground the house, and I wanted ground faults in the bathrooms, but I got the whole house ground faulted. The only thing left is get these painters finished up this week, get those wires tied in at the pole, and get all this crap cleared out of here and get some of this dirt leveled out. And then we can just kind of kick back, start relaxing, and work at our own pace after that. Also on the delivery list today, the monitor for the cameras showed up. I couldn't find one in any of the stores. I didn't look real hard. I looked at the big box stores, and that was it. So I just got on Lazada, found me a 20-inch HDMI monitor to sit on top of that cabinet in there so I can adjust settings or whatever I need to do in there without having to try to do it on my phone. I don't even think I can do it on the phone, to be honest with you. I don't think I can adjust settings because the camera guy brought a monitor with him, plugged it into it, set all the settings on the cameras, and then took his monitor and left. Why the system wouldn't come with a monitor is beyond me. I mean, they're $1,000 $30. Ridiculous. But anyhow, I got that. But I'm going to leave it in the box there until they get done in that room, and then I'll put it in. Today is Monday, the closing of Monday. The washer dryer guy is supposed to be here Wednesday to install those, so that room's got to be done, and they know that. The sofa is supposed to deliver on Wednesday. The mattress is supposed to deliver on Wednesday. The bed we bought had to be ordered because we didn't like the ones they had on display. We got one that they had on display, but with some changes to it. So they're going to have that probably in 2 weeks, they said, from the time we bought it. So probably another week and a half, that bed will be ready. We're not going to wait for that. We'll throw the mattress on the floor and go to sleep, or we'll just pull out our mats and sleep on the floor like we have been for the last 8 months. So that's about it, really. I mean, we're getting close to the end, as you can tell, and I keep saying that in every video, but like I said at the beginning, every day we're one day closer.